I'll take out the girls, poke them out, and maybe I can attract a man.
Definitely not the mentality to have. If you're out there literally, you know, looking for someone to date, someone to take you seriously, or, you know, someone to actually have a relationship with, hoping that your assets are going to be something that's going to draw someone's attention is definitely not the move that I'd recommend. Because if somebody is going to come to you and be attracted to you based on your physical appearance, and they think, oh, look, she's got a nice pair there, maybe she's easy, then that means that man's intentions may not be the right intentions. His intentions could just be just to get close to them. Do you see what I'm saying? So, point being is that if Chantel has any hope of finding a man who's going to want to be with her for herself, she needs to make sure that that man is going to talk to her and want her for who she is as a person, and not for how she looks. Obviously, how we look is always a big part of, you know, getting someone's attraction. But how we present ourselves in terms of the conversation that we have, also what we wear, also determines what the intention that person's going to have with you, whether that intention is to just have fun with you or to actually be in a relationship with you. Do you see what I'm saying? So for her to have that mindset, it's very concerning, but I understand why she has it. It's due to the fact that she lacks confidence in the fact that she doesn't believe that she can hold a conversation or know how to flirt or whatnot, which I get it, completely get it, but this is not the way you want to get yourself back in the game. But of course, you should want to feel nice in what you're wearing. Of course, you should want to, you know, express the assets for yourself that you feel like are your best bits, 100%. Not against that bit, but it being her game plan is the problem. But anyway, let's continue with this date because, boy, this guy was a calamity.
Think about a little red tattoo all the time, but I don't have it. No? I guess I'm too chicken.
This guy's personality is so flat, and you know what? It's sad because he's clearly not into her, which is fine. But if you're not into someone, it doesn't mean you have to not have a conversation with them. Do you know what I mean? End of the day, they're all doing speed dating right now, okay? In a jacuzzi, which is freaking a lovely setting, you know what I mean, okay? And literally everyone's having a conversation. So to be fair, the fact that this guy wasn't even willing to actually have any kind of conversation with Chantel back and forth, give it any energy, is just sad as hell. And also on top of that, you know what?
Things with Edwin go south quickly because he's kind of a brick wall. But let's be honest. 8 years ago when I got married to Pedro, I hung up my dating skills. Felt like my first kiss ever.
It had nothing to do with your dating skills. Trust me when I tell you. That guy there, he just thinks he's too good for you. I mean, it's kind of sad because the guy is clearly on roids, and I only say that because his nipples themselves in particular here, they drip down. You know what I mean? Anybody that knows about that area of life is that if your pecs start to have a little bit of the bottom here where they're kind of showing a little bit of a boob effect, that's when people usually know that you've been doing all sorts, you know what I mean? So while he's out there thinking he's too good for her with his flipping, you know, shame on him. But like I said, at the end of the day, there is no harm in having a conversation, it's speeding, you know what I mean? Like, come on, at least let the girl feel good about herself in some kind of way. Anyway, it is what it is. But anyway, regarding her saying it felt like my first ever kiss, this is Chantel not now talking about her friend, who she's been friending with for a minute now, and then her friend decided to make advances to her and give her a kiss, and Chantel says, hey, it was a weird feeling, but it felt kind of nice, and it kind of felt like my first ever kiss. Technically, it was a first ever kiss from a female, so yeah. Just to clarify that it's not about this one here.
But at the same time, I was so overwhelmed at what it all meant because I have not ever thought about dating a woman.
And I can imagine. I mean, don't get it twisted. If I had a gay friend and they decided to kiss me, it's a problem, my friend. Listen, you know how much I like the females. You know what I'm saying? Hey, chill yourself, calm yourself down. You know what I'm saying? But I guess Chantel must have given her girlfriend a vibe. Who knows? But I can imagine it going far more south if a man tried to kiss another man compared to a woman trying to kiss another woman, to be honest with you.
For me in my dating life and my sexuality, that I'm a lesbian.
No, Chantel, it doesn't mean that you're a lesbian. Just because your friend kissed you and you, at the moment in time, feel like you liked it, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a lesbian for liking it. Because you have to take into account so many other, you know, aspects of it. The one, how long you've been your friend with, how long you've been friends with your friend. 2, what type of relation do you have? Do you have a relationship where you feel like you can come to your friend with anything and everything? Three, is this a friend that you've been able to come to and cry to and confide in you all the time? So if you two already have an emotional connection, okay, and emotional connections can create a form of attraction, they can potentially, right? Um, and obviously, clearly, your friend maybe thought that she was picking a vibe from you back, so she thought she'd go for it. I don't ever see that happening in a man situation. Unless a man is gay too, I don't see a man ever giving another man that vibe unless they, you know what I mean, to be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? Because men and women, we're very different in terms of obviously how we give, of how we open up to our friends. Very different to obviously how we obviously, you know, be there for one another. Obviously women are a bit more intimate with it, a bit more closer with it, a bit more open with it, a bit more softer with it. With us men, it's like, hey bro, you okay? It's been a good day. Yeah, no, it's been a bad day. Okay, do you want to go and do something? You know what I'm saying? Men aren't gonna have that kind of conversation of, hey man, she broke my heart, let me come and cry on your shoulder type stuff. That doesn't happen, you know what I mean? So to be fair, it wouldn't be in that type of situation. But anyway, the more the situation is here is that it does make sense for her friend to maybe think that she has a chance. But again, does it mean that Chantel's a lesbian? No, because she's made it abundantly clear in the past how much she loves men. But does it mean that she may be open to being a bisexual? Absolutely, absolutely means that she could be open to it. But then at the same time, could it also mean that she's not bisexual and she's just in a vulnerable state where she feels like no one else really wants her and she's finally got someone that wants her, so therefore she's willing to just give it a chance with her friend because she's at that point in her life where she's like, well, I've tried men and it's not gone anywhere, and I know my girlfriend, and you know, and I didn't mind it when she kissed me, so yeah, let's give it a try. But I mean, I say this because there's been people well, there's been women who have tried that. To be fair with you, in that I've known of. To be fair, I know one girl. To be fair, who tried it, and then yeah, it didn't end well. It didn't end well one bit, not a single bit. Not because she wasn't necessarily bisexual, more because she kind of found out how bitchy her friend was in that type of scenario. You know what I'm saying? So definitely didn't help their friendship in the long run. But nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts on that one in particular. Now, of course, if I've still got you here after 7 minutes of boring you guys, clearly I'm not boring you enough. So hit the subscribe button, like the video, and now let's get into the next cast member.
So women throw themselves at me because I'm superstar Soulja Boy all the way from Africa. I'm an artist. I can sing for you every day, you know.
Women do not throw themselves at him. What's he talking about? Okay, Kimberly would definitely throw herself at him, but who would flex about Kimberly throwing herself at you? Who would flex about that? There's no bragging rights in that at all whatsoever. And nor would there be any bragging rights in somebody flexing about Elisa also throwing herself at him. So, yeah.
Sometimes I feel like women are not coming to me, or they're not throwing themselves to me as for me, Usman. They're just coming for the Soulja Boy.
But literally, Kimberly's the only woman we've ever seen on record say that she wants a Soulja Boy. Again, not a flex. Just embarrassing yourself at this point.
I was surprised to see Tev. I was happy.
Were you surprised to see me? Yeah.
I never met you.
But you don't know me? For real?
Who are you?
Why, Chantel? You don't know me. You don't know Jamal?
Oh my God. Okay, so I might have seen some things on social media about you, but I've never met you. And
I love the way his ego's been hurt so much right now. He thinks he's really that guy. Because Chantel's acting like, I don't really know who you are. And he's so offended. He is so offended. Now, I don't know if Chantel was doing this on purpose, but I could care less because somebody definitely need to humble him. Because, boy, man thinks he's an international superstar. You're not. Let's just call it what it is. You're not. So I enjoyed every single aspect of this, to be honest with you.
That's what I mean. Like, I know you about me,
No,
but I know you. I was like, okay, that's fine because I know you. I mean, not really knowing you in person, but like I've seen you. You guys getting now? No, it's fine. Just,
no, it's
I mean, maybe she don't like me, but I don't hate anybody.
So I don't hate anybody,
like
but you came up to me and you were like, I should know who you are.
And that's bad energy. And the fact that he came with the energy of, you should know who I am. Chantel was like, if that's the energy you want to bring into this, I'm about to let you know that you're not who you think you are. You're just another guy who happened to be a 90 Day Fiancé just like me. That doesn't make you a superstar or anyone else but that. But obviously with Chantel, her real intentions of being like this is Soulja Boy is more because she was upset with how Soulja Boy had treated her friend Courtney. Which I guess makes sense. But either way though, I love the way he was humbled and the way he was so freaking hurt about it is comical. Absolutely comical.
I'm like,
I
I
didn't say
don't
you should
know
know who I
who you
am.
are. I told you that I don't know anybody until I meet them in person. I've never met you in my life. I'm
we don't need to
curious
talk.
about this.
No, I don't want
I
to
know
talk.
you don't want to
Honestly,
talk,
I
but you
don't.
can listen.
You don't want to talk, no? But she's got a fair point, though. She's got a very, very fair point. Can't really argue with it, to be honest with you.
She'll know who I am because we have mutual friends. But I also know that she's been talking about me.
Symbol, and remember you were like, oh, he's a scammer, so he's like butthurt.
Yeah, you call me scammer. Like, why would you call me scammer?
But where is the lie?
He did target Kim wanting a green card. And when we were at the masquerade party, he was telling Courtney that she's his number one. Number one, Courtney. But he was just telling Tim how beautiful I am, and Courtney needs some bull repellent.
She's not lying, though. He's out here telling certain people certain things. So to be fair, I can understand why Chantel would have her guard up even more. Because this is a man that is behaving in a way that cannot be trusted. He's definitely, behaving in that trifling way. So, again, am I surprised that she's given reception? Absolutely not. Is she right to give him this reception? Absolutely. The band needed to be humbled because he's been on 2 seasons or maybe 3 seasons of the show now or whatever. And every time he's been on 90 Day Fiancé, he's always carried himself as if he's bigger and better than everybody else. As if he's this African international superstar when he's never been that, never will be that. And that's just the bottom line. I love it when I see big egos get humbled.
And
that was the end of that one there. Well, I guess it's on to the next person, of course, of this new season of 90 Day Hunt for Love. But, folks, it's 10, 11, 12 minutes into the video now. You obviously want to like it, otherwise why are you still here? But we continue.
Toxic, manipulative, swaggy. The height is a little bit of an issue, but I think I can get over it because...
I'm not gonna lie to you, when this woman sat there and said that I like the fact that he's got a toxic, manipulative, blah, 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 I was like, that's how I know you're problematic. You are massively problematic. And you are going to be, one hell of a drama queen throughout this season. But it's early, so I guess we have to wait and see. But also on top of that, to be fair, I do understand there's a little bit of drama that went on behind the sheets, which I have not seen just yet. So I will be watching that shortly. And definitely be back with an upload of that one itself in particular. You know what I mean? Given that there was a lot of tea that happened, shall I say. But let's continue.
I don't like that.
I'm not rejecting you.
Check it up and go find another guy.
Definitely no.
Definitely no. The way he's already telling her that, no, you can't go see another guy. Crazy work. Crazy work. This guy sat there and said, no, I don't want to kiss you straight away because I've just met you. But yet you want to tell her that she can't go and mingle with another person. Woo.
Trying. All the time someone sees me in a bikini and they see my ass, they're like, holy, you have a huge ass. I have a big butt for a white girl.
The fact that she had to speak about her own freaking asset is sad as hell. Like, if you got one, then I'll see it when I see it. You telling me means you're literally thirsting for my attention more than ever. Which, listen, when that happens, that can easily tell a man what his intention should be with you moving forward. And that, so for example, let's say you didn't say that and he was taking you for just being a nice person, blah, blah, blah. Whereas the intention could have been, listen, I want to get to know you and see if we can develop something. But the fact that she started talking about her assets and that's where her confidence comes from, talking about herself in that kind of way, well, then that's when a guy's intention can easily change and his intention can go from wanting to get to know you for you to then wanting to get to know you just to get into your pants because you spoke about how great you look. And it's also about how she's gone about it. But really and truly, most of the time when it comes to our looks, we are supposed to wait for the other person to tell us how good we look, not to tell that person how good we look. It's just wild. Very teenage behavior. And to be fair, that energy does come from a place of a form of a low self-esteem. And she does touch on the fact that she's got low self-esteem later on in the episode, which is something that was ruled out by Jennifer, saying, well, you can't because he was already kissing Rob on the first night. Which, yes, fair enough, she may have been forward and ready to do him, but that doesn't mean that she's necessarily confident. One, she's probably drinking, and two, for somebody to look at Chantel, for example. Chantel had to put in her mind that she needed to show her breast as a way to get something going. That tells you where she's at with her self-belief in herself and where her self-esteem's at. This woman literally went out of her way to be like, hey, come here and kiss me. Come here and let me show you my ass. It's because she's trying to use what she thinks is her value. She thinks her value is trying to tell a guy that she wants to kiss him. Her value is showing a guy that she's got a nice ass or whatever. That means that she doesn't value herself as a person, her personality. She doesn't believe just a guy talking to her and getting to know her for herself is good enough. So yeah, when she said it, that she has low self-esteem, I completely get it. You know, and it's sad as hell. It's sad as hell because you shouldn't be putting yourself in this position.
You don't want to kiss me? You don't want to see my ass? You don't see my ass? What? You want to kiss and I show you my ass?
The fact that she was like, oh, I got a fat ass, and he's like, let me see it. And she's like, well, no, but you don't want to kiss me. And then she's like, well, you got to kiss me. But now you got to choose whether you want to kiss me or see my ass. And he's like, I want both. Thirsty.
I met her just like in the movies, was friends with my roomie.
The maddest thing about it is that this is why there are many guys out here who don't like men like Rob. Because there's many guys out here who will try and get her attention. And she will make them guys jump through hurdles to try and get her attention. Meanwhile, with a guy like Rob, she'll happily just do whatever she wants to get his attention, do you see what I'm saying? And that's why there was the division sometimes when there's some guys who don't like light-skinned brothers, because light-skinned brothers be getting women like this. You know what I mean? And then the same women that they be getting like this are the same women that somebody else will try and get, and that one will make it a whole freaking task for him to get her. This is why I always say to people, like, don't ever waste your time with a woman that's making you work for it. Because I promise you now, there's somebody before you that she did not make work for it. She worked for him. Point blank, period, okay? Always go where you're appreciated, not where you're not appreciated. You see what I'm saying? And that's the grand scheme of it. Because I'm telling you now, if a guy who she wasn't into or whatever came in, yeah, she's making that guy go over hurdles. And then when that guy finally gets some, he thinks he's actually won. No, bro. He was in a competition with a dude that she was chasing who turned her down. You just became the rebound. That's what it is. Men, wake up. And to be fair, this probably happens to women too. You know what I mean? But I can't speak on that because I'm not a woman. I speak on it from the men perspective.
Oh, wait, what's your longest relationship?
I've been proposed to 5 times. I've been engaged 3 times.
3 times?
So the fact that she's been engaged X amount of times and been proposed to X amount of times tells me exactly what I just said is definitely a fact. Because those men that have been out there proposing to her or all that kind of things, I'm telling you, those are the guys who had to work for her. Telling you, most out of those 5, at least 3 of them, maybe 4. But anyway, it is what it is. You know, obviously this is where she's at. But to be fair, having that type of track record is not good. That means this girl must struggle with commitment on a long-term basis. It must mean that maybe she's somebody who may even get bored, or maybe she's been with guys who have been good guys, but she's got bored and ended up doing some madness. You know, she's the kind of person who probably likes to have someone who's going to manipulate her, be toxic, and basically just play her yo-yo for years upon years because it's her comfort zone due to whatever trauma that she's been through. Chaos is probably her comfort zone, and that's not a good look. And that's probably why her self-esteem is all over the joint. Do you see what I'm saying? But, yeah, it's going to be one hell of a season with this woman in particular. But like I said before, even though she likes Rob because of his chaos, it's because she's chaos too. So it's a matter of figuring out this season which one of these two is going to be the more chaotic one, who's going to play the games the most. We are in for a potential roller coaster with these two. If it's not scripted and they're going to let these two just be themselves, we are about to be entertained Big Brother style. You hear me? Now we move on to the next person. My apologies. But if you're still here, clearly I've got you entertained. So hit the subscribe button and like the video. Yes. I keep saying it, but I gotta stop motivating people to subscribe and like my videos. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't sure how he felt about me. So now I'm like, could this be fate bringing us back together? But I feel stupid because I was excited to see him and talk to him, and then he's pretending not to even know who I am. I'm like,
honestly, like from the moment that I've seen this woman from 90 Day Diaries to now, like I don't even know if I feel sorry for her, but her dating life is just tragic. Stupendously tragic. She doesn't know when to quit, doesn't know when to just walk away, doesn't know when to understand that this person isn't for her. She just likes to always be on the chasing end of some dude. You know, and then when a dude, I've never seen a dude chase her, to be honest with you, saying that, to be fair. I don't know, but hey ho. By the way, he's talking about Soulja Boy, just so you know.
confused if Usman's just flirty and this is just a friendship to him, but he hasn't said anything that makes me think he wants to take our relationship to the next level.
First and foremost, you don't have a relationship to take to the next level, let alone taking anything to the next level. You met this guy in Turkey. Since then, the guy ghosted you. Point blank, period. You haven't seen him till now. Why the hell do you think that there's going to be anything going on with him now? Why the hell would you want anything to do with somebody who literally ghosted you after Turkey? Like, come on. If nothing else needs to be said, let's continue to the next one.
I mean,
One time, we went to a strip club. He paid to a guy to dance for me. I was like, what are you into?
wait, you went to a men's strip club?
Yeah.
So this is Jennifer talking about Tim. So this is interesting now. So we've all gone from Tim potentially being gay, to then Tim having low test levels, which is why he doesn't want to be intimate with women, to now finding out from Jennifer, no, it's because he likes to actually watch his women be pleasured by another dude. Damn, the conspiracy behind Tim continues. What is this man? Is he gay? Is he got low test levels? Or is it a voyeur? Is it a voyeur they call them? The people that like to watch their partners have intimacy with somebody else? Well, whatever it is anyway. The plot just thickens around Tim, doesn't it?
Stop.
Yeah, like a lap dance. And he
You saw him?
Oh, yeah, he was so excited.
He just likes weird.
He said that with his ex-girlfriends, he'd love to go to swingers.
Man was going to swingers and letting other people. Do you know what though? We need to have a conversation with Veronica. Veronica needs to be asked a question real quick. You know what I'm saying? When you use with Tim, what kind of lifestyle were you two living? We need to know because
Tim and Jen's season, so I was very surprised to find out that they were exes. They just don't really look like they would go together. Like, they never even hooked up. I mean, this is like Gino and Jasmine territory. Word to the wise, to all the fellas out there, if you're not snooping your wife, she's gonna probably find it from somebody else.
it's funny because it's funny how Rob has energy now for Jennifer and Tim, but didn't have the energy for. Well, actually, to be fair, he did tell Gino multiple times you need to sleep with a woman, otherwise she's gonna go elsewhere. But when Jasmine did end up going elsewhere, he should have just said why didn't he say to Gino at the time, well, this is what happens? Instead, he tried to defend Gino's corner instead, out of just the fact that he just doesn't like Jasmine. Very hypocritical if you ask me personally in a certain way here. But nonetheless, though, it is what it is. What's happened has happened, and it's nothing but grotesque with Gino and Jasmine. But either way, though, Jennifer and Tim right now, it looks like these two were Gino and Jasmine before Gino and Jasmine were Gino and Jasmine. You know what I mean? We just didn't know about it. The only difference is that Jennifer didn't ask for an open relationship. Their relationship generally just did end, and then she went off and found Jesse, and then she's single again. I can't believe that she's only 32, to be honest with you, though. Yeah. Oh damn! I just dissed it, didn't I? What can I say, man? I thought she was older than that. Still. Anyway. Yeah. Well, we move on to the next cast member. I know you're still here, so like the video. Come on now.
I mean, I would say you're an
I'm a
info.
healthy sex drive.
Yeah, 7 times a day, I would say.
Well, you know, on a good day.
7 times a day?
With who? Himself and his computer.
You seem like if you have sex 7 times a day, because that's like good exercise, he would be in better shape.
What I understand is better than Tim's. Better than Tim by a country mile.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna leave that one there, to be honest. If you Colt wants to say that that's the way his sex life is like, then I guess that's what his sex life is like. Good for you, buddy. Sure. But then again, at the same time, though, he is always with the Latinas, and Latinas are known notoriously for having a high sex drive, so it kind of fits the bill. But he hasn't got one right now, so I guess the internet's been his best friend lately. Damn. I mean, Tim said obviously you'd imagine he'd be in better shape right now, which could have been true, but at the same time, what you eat still determines how much you weigh. You can exercise for as long as you like, but if you're still eating all that trash food and putting more calories in, well, then you're never gonna lose the weight. So yeah. But that's obviously Tim just not knowing and not understanding that way of things. Well, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. We'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.